everyone. Having worked mostly on the scenic elements of the layout, I recently started to turn my attention to what I can do with JMRI and perhaps some automation of the layout. I've been following guides from people like Little Wicket Railway and Wirenwood Railway, and I'm making a bit of progress on automating some trains. I've got two platforms here that ideally I'd like to have a shuttle service running. So there's some sidings just outside the station, and I'd like to be able to get just a couple of DMUs to run from the sidings into the station, perhaps alternate between platform 1 and 2. So I've started to add the block detection sensors. I'll just show you how I've wired those up, and then I'll show you what I've done with JMRI and where I'm currently up to. It's all a bit of a learning process, and it's taking a bit of time, and obviously there are some mistakes and problems along the way, but I'll just give you an update of where I'm currently up to. So at first I bought an Arduino and a sensor shield and a couple of these 5 amp current sensors. Now these are analog sensors, but to begin with I found some success in getting these to detect when the train was in a block and switching this light to red when it entered the block, and switching it off when the train was not in the block. And then later I was able to then integrate with JMRI so that instead of it turning this light on, it would change the sensor value shown in JMRI, which would then reflect on the track diagram that exists within JMRI. Now you write a bit of Arduino code for it to know what to tell JMRI when it senses current, and I found it quite interesting because you can then customize that code in a way that you can make it in some ways more reliably detect when a train is in a block. So I've taken examples that were provided. I think originally they were from a blog called Nscaler. Obviously Little Wicket Railway used those, and I've then created my own version of the code that I think reliably detects trains when they're in a block, and I'm happy to explain that at some point. Now, having had some success, I was able to buy a few more current sensors, and these are very cheap. They're only £3 or £4 to purchase, and I am limited though because these are analog to 6 sensors on a Arduino Uno sensor shield board. So I then ended up purchasing another one, and then I tried following the guide again on Little Wicket Railway to use these, I think they're RS485 boards, to get them to communicate, but I struggled to get these to work, and they seem to be getting hot. So I've since found that I can simply wire this up to a USB hub and then get JMRI to talk to these individually on our own CMRI networks. Essentially each one is its own CMRI network. Some of that was again taken from information that Wirenwood put out, where he's actually using Ethernet cables instead, but I found this solution might just be as simple. That's probably worth saying that at first, when I first got the Arduino and some sensors set up, these were not wired neatly or fairly neatly like this. They were trailing on the floor and so on, but you obviously do need quite a lot of wire, and obviously some of these aren't wired up yet, and then obviously these run under the layout. There are obviously ways to tidy this setup up, but I'm just exploring at the moment and seeing where I want to go with this. So in terms of what I see in JMRI, you can see that within this block we've got 156 Sprinter occupying this block, and I'm currently exploring the use of dispatcher to run a train automatically. So I'll just show you an example. I'll set this train up to run into the station and back. So it allocates the blocks and the train should move off, which it's doing. And then we should see, as it progresses into the station, it's picking up where the train is on the layout. As it moves through. Then it should stop in platform 1 without any delays, and then it will return back to the siding. Now I've only put sensors on this single track at the moment, as it's a work in progress, but at some point I hope to be able to then put sensors on the other track, and obviously see it switch the points and switch the tracks. It is trying to change some of the points at the moment, but it's only setting them back as they currently are set. So that's really where I'm up to at the moment. It's probably worth saying that these buffers have been hit many times while I'm testing out how it all works. Even just the current setup that I have, where the train will run from the siding into the station and back out again. For some reason, if I just change that to continuous running within JMRI, for some reason when the train reaches the sidings after coming into the station, it seems to want to slow down and then continue on through the siding instead of reversing. So these are all things that I don't quite understand how it's working at the moment, but I just wanted to do a quick update that shows where my progress to date. You know, even just simply starting with a single Arduino with a couple of sensors was progress, and obviously where I go with this will depend on a bit of patience, but I'm finding it quite interesting at the moment, and hope to continue and see what else I can get working. Thanks for watching.